Hey folks, welcome to today's video. It's 1 o'clock, just about to head to bed, and I normally just watch a bit of YouTube before I go to sleep, and it popped up in my subscription box a video from Chase exposing the most prolific cheater in Gears of War. Now again, people might think we have beef. I don't have beef with anyone. I really don't care anymore. Like I say, Chase, he makes montages, he's about movement. Go subscribe to him, and he has a TikTok account which has just started. He also makes music, so if you want to check him out, you can check him out. Hey, and if you want to check out Snubs, you can also check out Snubs and make your own mind up. In my video, I was unable to draw a conclusion because I didn't want to sit on the internet and categorically call somebody a cheater with basically just not enough evidence. I'm not going to do that. Now Chase has come out here, and I've not seen this video. I imagine he's going to quote prove it, and I'd be interested to see that. And so the videos that I've watched recently of Snubs, if I was leaning one way or the other, you know, if somebody had to pin me down and say, do you think this person's cheating, I think he has very, very strange unnatural movement in Gears Reloaded / UE, should I say UE, and I haven't played that game on PC, so I don't know what's possible. So I couldn't draw any conclusions, but it does seem very, very smooth. Now, I am going to give some inside information here, which might help the case of one or two people. We don't know. So I was sent a direct message on the 7th from Snubs, and I haven't posted it or anything because I didn't really want to carry on getting involved. It's not really my place, is it? This seems to be between these two people. But I thought, you know, since I've got some information, maybe before we watch this video, it helps. So I've not seen this, have no idea what it's going to be about. I've seen one video where Snubs explained that basically the wall bouncing is all about the ability to look at the wall, and it's all about your left stick sensitivity, and he has a controller that can make an analog stick far more sensitive. Now, I'm going to give you the information, and then we're going to do a live reaction of this video. So this was the message I was sent, and it said, I made a comment to try and address the Jason Chronicles part of your video, but I don't know if it got deleted because I couldn't find it. That channel was used for research purposes if I wanted to fully understand how the cheating Jason files work, to see if some of the things I experienced were even possible or not. I learned about the files along with my friend, and even through the stream met some of the creators, and they explained some things to us. So first of all, if it was me, I would be like, mate, your video is a joke. I'm not a cheater. Snubs has come at it from this angle, and he said, I have the Jason cheats because I've probably been bullshitted in Gears 5 and UE, and I wanted to say, basically, am I being bullshitted or am I being hacked? So I downloaded the hacks myself, and as a result, some of the creators of the hacks even joined and talked to us. Now, like I said, if it was me, I wouldn't want all the smoke. There's no smoke without fire, so to speak. And I would never dabble in any sort of cheating, even to understand it. You can make of this what you want. This is Snubs saying, I'm not a cheater, I just downloaded them to see how they work. You make up your mind on that. That's not for me to make up my mind. Now, I'm hoping Chase's video provides some more evidence, because it would be great if there was more evidence. We don't know. Now, he then sent, kind of later on during the day, I haven't cheated in recent Gears of War, and the only thing I ever did was a modded hammerburst in Gears of War 2. The Cronus was originally bought for ESO, so I could, which I presume is Elder Scrolls Online, so I could AFK farm and then use it as a controller adapter on console. For example, using a 360 controller on an Xbox One. And again, I'm not going to draw any conclusions. You let me know what you think. I will say it's a bit of a strange statement. I haven't cheated in recent Gears of War, but I guess you could say he's been honest. He's saying, yeah, I haven't cheated in any of the games, but in the past, I did use a modded hammerburst in Gears 2, which so many people use, like modded Desert Eagle and COD 4, right? Now, it says, I could make a video that makes Chase look really bad. For example, in the game where he accuses me of a macro, there was another player moving twice as fast as me, and he never said a thing about him. Also, in the minutes directly leading up to him saying macro, I wasn't even bouncing. I'm fairly confident he was stream sniping me to start drama because he quit his job to go full-time streaming. And to be honest, I'm not trying to get involved in that. That's a pretty rude comment which failed miserably, and now he's back to work, which, listen, I want to categorically put out there that I hope everybody that tries to make it in full-time content makes it in full-time content, and that actually is trying to put somebody down for trying to make it, and I don't agree with that. If I'm interested in disproving macros, I could just play on default, but like I put in the video, I don't care if people think I use macros. I responded and I said, basically, if it was me, it would bother me that people were accusing me of cheating, so I would just show my setup and yeah, dispute it. So basically, the defense here is I downloaded the cheats to see how they function. I've cheated in the past, but not at all. And basically he's saying, you know, in kind of paraphrasing, but I believe he's trying to say that he was even calling me cheating when I wasn't bouncing. Therefore, it's not a serious claim. He also says that somebody was cheating in the game as well, and he didn't call him out. Now, let's be honest, it's kind of a bad take, because that's like saying I wasn't speeding because the car next to me was speeding. Like two wrongs don't make a right, so to speak. And maybe he didn't call out the very, very obvious cheater because he's not trying to hide it, whereas he believes you are, Snubs. So I've not watched this video at all, but it's just appeared on my homepage, and it's from Chase again. You can go and subscribe to Chase. He also has started up a new TikTok account. I don't know what this is, some expose video. I don't know. Now, we're going to watch the video, and I'm going to say at the moment, I'm not going to draw any conclusions. I'm not going to draw any conclusions because I don't want to be the person that points out, hey, this guy's cheating, hey, he's not, unless I have some hard evidence myself. But we'll watch the video, and I just thought it was, we'll just see how it goes, because, yeah.
Inundated with he won't use a controller overlay because he's macroing. Videos have been making the rounds accusing me with quite literally zero evidence. Could you do a breakdown of how you bounce like that? There's honestly not much to it.
I'm 100% sure.
Bro, do you want it that bad, man? Dude, I actually want to give it to him. If I play this game on console, I can bounce like 80 or 95% slow. Do you want to bet?
So about a week ago.
Okay. So, the intro here is interesting. Chase is, I presume that's Chase, is saying, we'll give you $500 to prove it. This must be a tweet from back in 2023. That's wild to go back 2 years on tweets, but I don't know what the context of this is, right? This could also just be winding people up. Like, I don't know what the context means. I'm pretty sure if you look through everybody's tweets, they're going to have some weird stuff you can pull out of context. But let's look at the clips, you know. Snubs here is very categorically saying, I can bounce like this. And there are videos going around with zero evidence. And again, Chase points to the Cronus. He points to the Cronus logo as if to say, well, actually, I do have evidence. You have a Cronus pamphlet there. But look, I don't want to sound like a Snubs defender because I'm not. Putting a picture of a pamphlet isn't actually proof somebody's bouncing in Gears of War with a cheat. But it looks like Chase is about to explain and alleviate some of our queries. So we'll see what Chase has to say.
I posted a thread calling out one of the biggest Gears content creators on TikTok, Snubs, or using a macro in order to wall bounce at inhuman speeds. I was spectating him on my own team, and I saw him clearly bouncing in a way that I know requires a macro in order to pull off. And upon seeing...
Now, again, people may think I have beef with Chase. I don't. Here's what I will say. Chase is all about movement, correct? He's a montager. I believe, I'm sorry, Chase. I'm genuinely not trying to beef. I believe that's the term you wanted me to use. And he has obviously spent a tremendous amount of time on the movement. And so if he feels that what he's watching and seeing is not possible without a macro, then that does lead some, you know, you have to understand his view, don't you? Whoops, I've skipped way too far ahead there. Let's sorry about that.
Confronted him about it in game chat. Here's a look at how that went.
So this was July the 5th. I can't make out that word, but he says something like, you know, you're a fucking clown, you know exactly what movement is possible. So I believe he's calling him out right here for cheating.
That's the real Chase? Nah, what a clown. That is some like max clown shit, honestly.
So far, I will say this. I think if somebody goes into game chat and calls you names, I think Snubs reacting and saying, yeah, that's some clown behavior. I don't think that's outrageous, you know. But we will see. Snubs is like saying, you're talking shit to me for no reason. So I can see why Snubs has got his back up. Some of the things that have been said here, by the way, are crazy. Because I understand that Chase is wanting to out this guy, right? But it is true, going into a game chat and being like, I believe this is going to be stay in your lane is like crazy like talk, man. Stay in your lane, you fucking weirdo.
What is even going? I don't know. This like random fucking.
Wait. Okay, I take everything back I just said. You can tell that I'm watching this live, and this is the first time, so I'm very okay to apologize. This is Snubs saying this. Snubs is saying stay in your lane. Okay, that's really weird to say. What does he even mean by that? Does he mean like he shouldn't be on TikTok or something? Yeah, so I now understand why Chase is saying, what does that even mean? Because, yeah, what does that mean? Is Snubs trying to say, yeah, that you shouldn't be on TikTok or on Gears of War in general? Like, I'm not following this. The thing that I would be saying, and the thing that I'm picking up on, I don't know if you guys are picking up on this, but obviously Chase is coming at him and saying, you are a cheater, right? The one thing I would be saying in the game chat is not all of this saying stay in your lane. I would be saying, why do you think I'm cheating? I'm literally not. I'll show you. He's not denying any of the cheats, and he's not, you know, trying to disprove it, is he? He's just having an argument. When to me, I'd be like, bro, what are you on about?
What is even going? I don't know. This like random fucking Chase account that might be the real Chase is like talking shit to me for no reason.
So I told him I was going to expose him, and he laughed and said, "Go right ahead and try. You go ahead and you're going to make yourself look like a fool." So with his own approval, I went ahead and tweeted it out and went live with the title, "Snubs is a cheater who uses macro to wall bounce." And a few minutes into my stream, my chat actually starts blowing up, "Yo, Chase, Snubs is actually live on TikTok right now." So I went into his stream, hopped in his chat, and confronted him right there. And that's when we hit the overlay conversation.
Where's the overlay? Proving that's the thing.
Now, this is where I do have full agreement with Chase. I just think if you're being accused of cheating and it's clearly like, I've seen it as well on his TikTok videos and his comment section, it's all in his comment section. Would you not just put on an overlay and just be like, okay, look, I don't want to have to do this, but I'm going to put on the overlay and I'm going to disprove you. You might not want to do it. You might think you don't have to do it. And I do understand both sides, because hear me out. If he puts up an overlay, somebody is going to say, oh, well, you've cheated the overlay, or this is the wrong overlay, or you actually can be cheating whilst it being accurate on an overlay. Like, you see what I'm getting at? Meaning, if you have got it in for somebody, let's say he does play on his normal settings and on the control overlay it looks good, somebody might be like, yeah, but he's pressing a secret button, he's doing this, he's doing that, it's in, you know what I mean, it's inside the controller, the overlay isn't showing it. So I can understand not wanting to disprove it, because I don't know if anybody knows about ZII, the Call of Duty guy that always gets called out for cheating. He once filmed his whole setup, but people weren't satisfied because of this, that, and the other, and he was like, look, you're gonna make me film this 50 times and there's still gonna be something wrong. So I do understand not wanting to disprove it because of effort, but I feel like if it was like constantly in your comment section, you would just put an overlay on.
I don't care about proving you wrong. I don't care if people think I have macros. So like, a lot of people think I have macros already, and I don't care. No one in UE is bouncing that fast. I refuse to believe. You guys have to understand that I don't, like, I play against people every day with better bounces than me.
But he doesn't care. Just so you know, he doesn't care if you think he's cheating.
First off, there's no no way anybody would trust that, obviously. Like, what?
If I give you the money first, will you do it? His brain is scrambling right now to come up with some excuse to say no to this. Look at this. Look at this. What is his?
Yeah. So I can see that. So obviously, like, the first denial is, well, I'm not just going to disprove it because then you wouldn't pay me. And then Chase says, well, I'll give you the money first. So we'll see what he says.
Brain is.
Oh, my teammates are trolling me, man.
His brain is arrowing out, bro.
If I give you the money,
it's malfunctioning.
First, no, man, I don't want your money. Like, you're not listening to me on this. Like, I had a very
still said no. That's crazy. He still refused. And at this point, even his own chat was like, really? Like, yo, dude, this man just offered you $100? I think that caught even his own chat by surprise.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very easy thing to disprove, isn't it? You know, somebody said to me, hey, Z, I think you're cheating on Gears 5. I'll give you $100 to disprove you. I'll be like, okay. I just get my camera and tilt it down and you can watch me play. Now, again, you could say, I'm not bothered. But it is, isn't it? It is something to be bothered about, and it's so simple to disprove. So it's weird that he wouldn't.
Bro, do you want it that bad, man? Dude, I actually want to give it to him.
Yo, his viewers see this, right?
I'm on their side, man.
Someone's offering him $200. He's not going to use the overlay right now. He's not going to do it. So I said $500 money up front. And that's when he hit me with, it's out of principle. By the way, he's already read it.
Chase,
there
I am not taking your money because this is a matter of principle. And also, privately, I can explain something to you about why what you're telling me to do is stupid.
Let that sink in. He's being accused of cheating, accused of using macros. And instead of just showing inputs and clearing it up right here on the spot, he's making it seem like he's the one being wronged. Like enabling an overlay would somehow compromise his values. Bro, it's a controller overlay. It's not a wiretap. You're not being interrogated. You're being asked to prove that your movement is real. And Snubs, being the experienced liar and manipulator that he is, attempts to gaslight me by telling me that I don't even really believe myself that he's cheating.
Like, Chase, I don't think that you think I have macros. I think you're pissed off because you were calling that guy host and I was making fun of you.
And Snubs is correct that I don't just believe that he's cheating. I know that he's cheating. Okay, so Snubs doesn't care.
So this is interesting. So at the moment, I would say looks pretty good for Chase's side. It's made in a way that it's making Snubs look pretty bad. But at the moment, what it is basically Chase saying, I think you're cheating. I will pay you to disprove me. And Snubs is saying, well, kind of, the onus is on you to prove I'm cheating, right? It's kind of like I said in my video, if you unfortunately walk up and finish somebody off, you're going to get away with the murder unless somebody can prove you did it. So it's kind of the onus is on Chase here to prove it, because it seems like Snubs is not going to basically give him what he wants and show the overlay. So we'll see if Chase has any like hard evidence coming in, because it's quite a long video.
If you think he's cheating, and he's not going to put on an overlay. But some of the comments saying that he can't move the same on console for a reason clearly got under his skin, and he decided to attempt to prove people wrong about this and hopped on console. The gameplay sort of speaks for itself. Take a look.
Alright, I did like a clip like this. Is this the same movement that I do on PC? No. But
Now, playing devil's advocate, I'm not going to lie, there probably is more input delay on a console, right? And this clip here,
a clip like this.
It's pretty fast bouncing. I would say that this, and again, I'm not trying to defend the guy,
Sort of speaks for itself. Take a look.
but at the moment, this
Alright,
is pretty...
I did like a clip like this.
I would say that's pretty fast bouncing. It's not... It's definitely not as... And I guess what Chase is getting at is, it's not frame perfect, is it? And I think that's what's making people suspect Snubs, because when you do watch the clips, it just looks like the moment he's touched the wall, he's gone. Maybe he's just spamming the A button. I don't know. Even we'll see.
Is this the same movement that I do on PC? No. But
He is
The
getting
walls
stuck
are
to the wall.
Oh, bro.
we lost. We did not get pro. We lost our last game. If I was like good at this game though, like
Oh my god.
trying to get the fucking like, bro, trying to get the thing right. All right, I give up. All right, no. That's all I'm doing, man. I am not the fucking court jester over here.
Alright, so
Okay, so I'm trying to be like as balanced as possible. I get what he's trying to say. I'm not the court jester. I'm not going to sit here and bounce for 5 hours and try to disprove you. The gameplay has to be similar though, right? The gameplay has to be somewhat similar, because it's not like, let's say I was to go on console. I can't use a controller. I haven't used a controller since I was a kid, basically. So my gameplay would be very different, but Snubs uses a controller on both, so the gameplay should be pretty similar. It's not.
oh my god.
All right, no. That's all I'm doing, man. I am not the fucking court jester over here.
Alright, so I just joined Snub's Discord.
He's joined Snubs' Discord. I reckon he got an idea from my video. I tried to do some live investigation as well.
He has a link to join his Discord, like, right on his Twitter, so went ahead and just joined it and posted a link to the trailer of the expose, the one that you're watching right now. And this was kind of interesting. If you...
Okay, I will say this is a bit... I'm hesitant to use the word cringe, because then Chase is going to think I'm attacking him when I really don't care, but I just think going into someone else's Discord, have a bit of a snoop like I did, but going in and being like, hey, everyone, I'm exposing this streamer tomorrow, I think it's a bit, look at me, and the reason I mention this is because, like I said in my video, the focus should be on just categorically proving he's cheating. Then there's no comeback. But going into a Discord and being like, everybody come and check out my video tomorrow, it looks more like, and I'm not saying it is, but I'm saying it can come across as, I want your viewers, I want your you know, whatever you want to call it, to basically come and look at my content. And I don't think it is that. I think Chase genuinely wants to prove the guy's cheating, but it can just come across a bit wrong if you do it this way.
Search my name in here. You know, people have told me that I'm basically Voldemort in here. But I have been mentioned a few times, so let's see. Chase just comes off as desperate. Desperation is never a good look, regardless of if you're right or wrong. Just let it go. Dude, I keep seeing this guy, this SportsCenter guy talking about me in like random places. I actually think this dude has like sweaty fever dreams about me. Like, oh, Chase OP, oh! Like, dude, relax, dude. You can live your life, bro. I'm living rent-free in that guy's head. All right. What else we got? Oh, dude, look at this. March 22nd, all right? The problem is that Chase is retarded. Like, unironic.
Okay, so he's saying, you never publish a list of cheaters that you get from a supposed seller who won't give info on what the cheats do with proof of them doing it. I mean, look, here's where like I lose all focus. I just think to myself, what is this? Like, what is this that I'm watching? I do get it. I do get the wanting to disprove him, but I do also understand that guy's comment of whether you're right and wrong, it can just come across as a bit, look at me. At the moment, we're 6 minutes into the video and I've been waffling. We still haven't seen any proof yet. Basically, what we've been told is that he has a Cronus pamphlet, and I've played a lot of Gears of War, and I know that movement isn't real. Show me that it is. And basically, so far, it's just Chase saying, prove you're cheating, prove you're not cheating. I'm just coming at this from a, what, can I see the evidence, and then we can all chill, can't we?
Ironically, that's the problem. And you have like the biggest platform for Gears of War on TikTok.
I will say this though, to be fair to Chase, he has made him swap onto console and the bouncing wasn't the same, which, you know, that does lead you down a path, doesn't it, of, well, if he can't do it as good on console, okay, the walls might be a bit stickier, but it should be similar. So credit to Chase here. You know, I'm not a biased person, I'm not a hater. There's so much more evidence in this video, which is what I said. You know, I said I can't just go off some tweets. I need a bit more evidence.
It's like the most irresponsible, like shitty thing that I've ever seen from a Gears content creator. Incredible. Okay. Anyways, so I'm gonna go ahead and leave this Discord because I know they don't want me in here, but on TikTok, like unironically, that's the problem. And you have like the biggest platform for Gears of War on TikTok. It's like the most irresponsible, like shitty thing that I've ever seen from a Gears content creator. Incredible.
I mean, I wouldn't say calling somebody a retard is the most irresponsible, worst thing I've ever seen from a Gears content creator, considering we even saw COD pros like sexually harass people on Twitch. But I get what he's saying. It's not a good look. But yeah. Anyway, let's roll the tape.
Okay. Anyways, so I'm going to go ahead and leave this Discord because I know they don't want me in here, but I thought this was pretty entertaining stuff, so. Okay, so I want to get into his response video and debunk some of the stupid things he said in there. But before we get to that, I want to show you first, this was the original clip that I uploaded to Twitter claiming was clearly a macro clip, right? And something that Snubs kept saying was that it was because this clip was 30 FPS that the gameplay looks faster than it actually is. So I used AI and video interpolation to increase the FPS from 30 all the way to 120. And for you guys, it's still only going to be 60, but that's still double the original frame rate. And so I'll let you guys make up your own minds on whether or not you think that it looks slower now somehow by making it smoother.
Right. So I'm going to back Chase up here. I'm going to back him up and say, I have played hundreds of thousands of hours of Gears of War. Now, granted, I have not played Ultimate Edition on modern consoles, nor have I played it on PC, but I've never seen anybody bounce like that. I'll be honest. It's the interesting thing is that one side isn't slower than the other. Meaning, it's not like he bounces to the left and to the right. Sometimes it's slightly slower from right to left. It's just like a machine.
Somehow by making it smoother. Okay, I want to throw this in here right before we...
So this is good. This is good. And, you know, like I say, we don't have any vested interest between these two people. But this is a much better video. Plenty of evidence in here.
Get into his actual response. This is me putting on a macro so I can show you in the exact same spot what his gameplay would have looked like if he did turn on his controller overlay for that clip.
The fuck? That's fucking stupid. Dude, if you saw what your character looks like, bro.
Yeah, I can't even do it, bro. I can't even control this shit.
Right, so the macro is basically spamming A at light speed. So the moment you touch the wall, you bounce. I mean, seems reasonable.
But anyways, so now I'm going to get into his actual response video.
I like to make history videos, balance and game mode suggestions, rage baity videos, and sometimes tutorials. But I've never made a wall bounce tutorial because I think they fall somewhere in between clickbait and outright scams. Wall bouncing is really simple. You press A, slide to a wall, pull your left stick away from the wall, press A again. There's not really much to it, and in truth, you're limited not by how fast you can spam A, but by how fast you can move the left joystick. The best trick to...
Right, so this is what I saw when he says it's not about spamming A, it's about how much you can turn the joystick. So we have two different opinions here. We have Chase. He's basically saying, I've set up a macro and look how fast I'm bouncing now that I can spam the A button basically as fast as a robot. And we have Snubs saying it has nothing to do with the A button macro, it's about the left turn. So I'll be interested to see what Chase says here.
Bouncing faster is just make your left stick more sensitive. Mine is like 300% more sensitive than normal.
Okay, so let's talk about his response. So he says that wall bounce tutorials are basically a scam and that it's really all about stick sensitivity. He says his left stick is 300% more sensitive than normal and that's how he wall bounces like that. Yeah, cool story, but that's not how this works. You can't just tweak your stick sensitivity and then suddenly move like you have a macro. Stick sensitivity might be able to help you a little bit. It doesn't create perfect spacing and frame perfect movement, pressing A at the exact right perfect frame so that you can bounce from one wall to the next. It doesn't give you inhuman reaction times. And I just want to point out in his TikTok response clip, he does have an overlay on here, but his movement looks normal. Not robotic, cracked out, frame perfect bounces, just normal. Like a real person playing the game. And that's exactly the point. The whole point of a macro is that instead of it taking 2 days, like it did Snubs here, to get a clip that's even worth comparing to the macro clip, you hit it the first time. No warm up, no timing, no risk of messing up. Just
I see. Yeah, I understand that. I understand that. What Chase is saying here is Snubs can get 95% of the way playing normally, as in not cheating. And so when he puts a video like this and he says, look, I'm going to do an overlay and I'm going to play, I'm going to play some Gears. It's going to look 95% of the way, and then Snubs can easily say, yeah, and if I played a bit more and I wasn't under pressure, I'd be able to reach 100%, and then most people are satisfied. What Chase is saying is he'll actually never be able to reach that same level because that level is done by cheating. So yes, Snubs can play the game, Snubs can bounce, he's good. Snubs, he's not saying that this is cheating. Chase is not sat here saying that this clip here is cheating, but what he's saying is kind of what I was saying, meaning you notice how when he goes left to right here, sometimes it's quicker left to right, right to left. In the general RAM clip, it was perfect. So Snubs is kind of saying, yeah, look, when I play normally, I can sort of do it.
on command. So yeah, in this video, maybe he's not using one, but all that shows is when he isn't using a macro, his movement suddenly looks human. Exactly what we've been saying from the start. And that's why I pushed so hard for him to do it live on stream with a controller overlay. No prep time, no second takes. Because if you can really move like that, then you should be able to do it on demand, just like the rest of us do. Doing it off stream 2 days later in a polished response video, it's not proof, it's theater. All right, and with that, let's go ahead and continue.
About 5 days now, my comments have been inundated with he won't use a controller overlay because he's macroing. Videos have been making the rounds accusing me with quite literally zero evidence other than clips that were recorded by me on my own stream, posted by me to this very account. It would seem that quite a lot of people...
Okay, just to clarify, no one is accusing Snubs here of using gameplay that's from somebody else. He says there's zero evidence except for clips that he uploaded himself. Exactly, that is the evidence. You posted it. You exposed yourself. All right, let's continue.
Have jumped headfirst wholeheartedly onto this. Large creators, small creators, their followers coming along for the ride. It's like they want me gone. But if that's what they wanted, all they had to do was wait. You see, for the past year, I've been planning a trip to Europe, and I leave August 3rd. I'm going to be gone for about a month and a half, and I'm not uploading Gal while I'm away. It's going to be travel videos. There were periods of...
So then he...
All right, I'm going to be honest. I have no idea what he's talking about. Because Chase is saying, hey man, you're cheating. And then Snubs is like saying, well, if you don't want me to be in the Gears community, it doesn't matter because I'm going to be going to Europe soon anyway. But what's that really got to do with cheating? Chase is just saying, bro, you're pretty good at the game. I think what Chase maybe should have said is, look, Snubs, you're pretty good at the game. I've seen you bounce, and if you get enough time and you sit there for long enough, you're going to get a really nice bounce clip. But the clips that you've been posting and going super, super viral with, they're definitely with a macro.
Pivots. He's saying that people are trying to cancel him and says that he's going to Europe in a month anyway. So the Europe thing aside, that really is like a non sequitur. Bro, this isn't about cancellation. This is about being honest with your viewers and with the community and about transparency. You can go to Europe, that's fine, but the macros don't get to stay behind and pretend like nothing happened. So here's what makes the Snubs situation even harder to watch. Snubs is actually talented. He's actually good at the game, and he makes genuinely good content.
Yes. So again, I'm in agreement here with Chase. This is a good video. You know, you can tell I'm just watching this live and I'm saying, here's what I think. And then that's what I'm saying. I think it's a shame because I think Snubs can play the game. He very clearly can play the game. I've seen his older GB videos, but maybe, you know, if I'm being honest, but maybe he's thought, PlayStation, Gears of War, it's all going viral. I just need some really, really good clips, and I'm going to do some insane bouncing, and I'm going to title them Body in a PS5 player. This is what PS5 players are going to run into, and it's quite visceral, isn't it? You go on TikTok, you see this like absolute robotic machine movement, and people go, wow. Maybe he's just thought, all right, maybe rather than spending loads of time doing human level movement and spending a few days on Gears to get a clip, I'll just macro it. I'm 95% of the way there anyway.
He's not some bot who needs to cheat in order to compete. He's got legit game sense. But here's the thing. When you've got a big platform, the pressure builds. You get used to being the guy that everybody hypes up, and then you feel this pressure to play perfectly every game, every clip. But that's when people start justifying little shortcuts. Maybe you add a turbo to make the bounces cleaner. Maybe you say everyone else is doing it. Maybe you think it's just for content, no one will notice. But those little shortcuts have consequences. And when the lies catch up, it affects everyone. Your fans, your credibility, the game itself. If Snubs had just come clean, or even just addressed it honestly, we might not even be here. This didn't have to be a takedown. But the moment you fake it, the moment you pretend you're doing something godlike that no one else can replicate, and then you build clout off that, that's where the respect gets lost. So here's the part where I want to just step back
That is a pretty crazy clip.
from the drama a bit and talk creator to creator and player to player. Why even expose this? Why go through the length of making a full video calling somebody out? It's simple. It's because I care about this game. I've been playing Gears since I was a kid, since I was 10 years old. Launch day 2006.
Bro,
I poured...
That's what I tried to say, right? Maybe I didn't say it as succinctly, But that's what I was trying to say. And that's why I mentioned the lessons, because he clearly cares. And I didn't mean it as like an insult. I meant like he's doing lessons because he cares about the game. That's why he wants to expose him, because he cares about his own skill and the game and other people viewing skill. And Chase kind of said it himself.
Countless hours into perfecting my movement, building montages, scrimming with friends, playing ranked matches for years. And I'm not alone.
That's what I was trying to say, man. And I feel like the wires got crossed. Like, that is exactly what I was trying to say. I wasn't pulling up the fact that Chase was doing lessons as like a dig at some bloody finance situation. It was literally like, I can tell the guy cares about the movement, the fact that he's spent hundreds of thousands of hours perfecting his, and some dude's just going to come along and kind of get 85-90% of the way there and then just think, oh fuck it, I'm going to macro up.
Thousands of us have built this scene with nothing but passion and grind. And when somebody cheats, especially somebody with a big platform like Snubs, it hurts all of us. It's not about ego or proving one player is better than the other. This is about protecting the integrity of something that we've all helped build. If we let fake movement pass as real, it undermines what makes gears gears. This scene has always been small but tight. We don't need more clout chasers. We need people who respect the game. Look, nobody's perfect. We've all had moments that we're not proud of. In the Gears community, we don't care if you're the flashiest. We care if you're real, if you earned your stripes, if you humble yourself, if you respect the grind. And here's the thing a lot of people don't realize. I've seen the comments, right? Snubs, you keep saying that people want you gone, but that's not true. There's a huge community that enjoys your other content. They like the history breakdowns, the game mode discussions, the way you break down complicated ideas in a digestible way. That's your real strength. No one's asking for perfect bounce clips. They're asking for insight, humor, and passion. And you already bring that. You don't need macros to matter. You don't need to have God-like movement.
Macro lives matter. No, but jokes aside, this is a good video. Okay, this is a good video.
Perfect.
I think this would have gone down a million. Like, let me know in the comments if you're still watching, but I think this video or the whole drama would have gone down a lot better if it had just started with that start bit where he said, look, I know you're really good at the game, I know you can play the game, but I think just to get the regular clips out, just to get the viral clips and get to the next level, I think you're cheating. And it doesn't mean I think you're a bad player, but when people are in each other's stream calling each other clown and stay out your lane and all of this, like, the back and forth was just crazy.
Bounce timing in order to make an impact. You just need to be honest about what you bring to the table and bring it fully. If you leaned into what people actually value you for, you could come back way stronger. Not because of movement clips, but because of authenticity. I would like to end this video with my final message to the GAO community. This isn't about drama. This is about standards. If we care about the health of this game, we can't stay quiet when stuff like this happens.
I would also like to say all Corona shoes and cheating needs to go from Gears, and that's why I said I would not hang around with anybody that has any connotations to cheating. I don't even like it that people use clips and thumbnails from like a cracked out Gears 3 stolen build, that people hang around with known people that sell cheats and sell these things. I think all of that is ridiculous.
Cheating doesn't just hurt competition. It hurts trust. It breaks down what little foundation we have left in a game that's already been through enough. So yeah, some people might not care that Snubs is cheating, but we should care. Because
that's what I was trying to say anyway. Let's wrap it up there. I was trying to say he very clearly cares, and he said it himself, and I don't think we need to discuss this anymore. You can make up your mind if you think he's cheating or not. But regardless if he's cheating or not, we can all agree that cheaters absolutely ruin video games.